Welcome back, everybody. This is Sarcasm Speaks. I'm Jared. He's Bob. We get some fresh new stuff for you today. I realized after we finished last episode, we spent the entire time just recapping the weekend away, and there's been a ton of stuff that's been going on in the world. But the first thing we have to get to that we missed last time, we got a victory lap. As a show, we're taking a victory lap, but I do have to pass it on to Sexy Chris because we hit in the death pool again. Now I know I was kind of giving him a hard time because he said anybody in the Rolling Stones, or like one of the Rolling Stones, but he was correct. I think we all knew it wasn't going to be Mick and Keith anyway. So Charlie Watts, the drummer from Rolling Stones, died. It's got to be maybe 2 weeks ago at this point. But, like we said, we recorded like 4 or 5 shows within a week span. And then we didn't record for like almost 2 weeks. So we got a little bit of gap here. Your guys' timeline is still the same. Our timeline is a little off. But we never pass up the opportunity to take a victory lap. So shout out to Sexy Chris for his triumphant victory on a death.
Yep, nailed it.
Trying to think. So does that mean did Jones hit or did you hit?
Jones hit.
Jones hit. Oh, wouldn't you know? The only two that haven't hit yet are you and I.
Yeah, well, obviously.
Well, yeah.
Every prediction I make is wrong.
Yeah, well, I am a human jinx, which is hilarious, that guy on Twitter. So for anyone that doesn't know, first, you should follow us on Twitter at sarcasm_speaks. There was a guy, also a friend of the show, Ian McMillan, which I would love to try and get him back on the show. He's been super busy with the move. Well, first he moved from the Canada to the US and he was staying in New Jersey for like 2 weeks. And then he finally moved into the Bronx where he was now permanently. And he's acclimating to like obviously where he is and, the job and everything, which is still relatively new for him. So I don't know when or if, but I would say I'm definitely we're gonna try and get him back at some point.
Couple things with him too. So he's recording again his own podcast, Bacon Bets.
Right.
Which is hilarious. I was actually like laughing as I was fucking listening to it the other day.
Yeah.
And he's going to once again bet on every single NFL game this year. So that's 272 bets.
Yep, that is correct. Last year he did the road to 256. Yeah, this year is the road to 272.
No, it can't be 272. Why the fuck did he say 272?
No, this year is 272.
Yeah, but 17. Is that right?
Yeah, it's 17 times 16. Yeah, 272.
So if he had 256 bets last year.
16 times 16. That's 256. 17 times 16 is 272.
Oh, because there's only 16 more games, not 7. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he ran into the same math problem on his podcast. I listened to it when it came out.
Yeah, I'm like 250. I'm like,
it's because there's obviously like there's 32 teams, but you need 2 teams to play one game. So it's really only 16 games for 16 weeks. And then you add a 17. It's like this is literally the exact same math problem that he did at the beginning of his episode.
That is true. I was driving to Pine Hills when I was listening to him.
So anyway, back to the original story. Like I said, follow us on Twitter at sarcasm_speaks over there. But so Ian McMillan had posted on Twitter, or I guess had tweeted. That's an easy way to say it. This was the 3rd or 4th week in a row where one of the players that he bet in the PGA to win the tournament finished second. So
I think it's 4 in a row.
Yeah. So 4 weeks in a row, he picked a guy to win the tournament and he finished second. So obviously you get $0 for that.
You receive nothing.
Someone replied to his tweet and said, "Oh, hey man, you should really." So also, let's back this up. This guy is like some random Twitter handle. Like Ian McMillan is like the lead editor for a company called BetSided, has his own gambling podcast. Like I know he said he's not a professional gambler, but like he makes his living in the sports betting world. So you have some rando on Twitter go, "Hey man, you know what you should do is bet a little more money and then bet that guy to finish top 5 and then you'll hit." So me being a dick, I couldn't pass up the opportunity. So I replied to that guy's tweet and I go like the little like asterisk, like in between two asterisks, like a quote. And I go, golfer inevitably finishes 6th. So then Ian liked the tweet and then replied and goes, "Seriously," like, because that's exactly how it would go. And so this we'll call him Jabroni. I'm sure he's a nice guy. I'm sure he pays all of his bills on time. Probably loves his kids if he has any. Takes care of his pets if he has any. Sure, he's a great guy. But for my story, we're calling him Jabroni. So Jabroni replies to that and goes, "Come on, man. Do you really have that bad of a luck?" So again, because I can't miss an opportunity for anything like that, especially self-depreciation, I go, "Oh yeah, man. I'm pretty much a human jinx." And then I tagged the Sarcasm Speaks, Twitter in it, which is predominantly run by you. For anyone that doesn't know, Bob pretty much runs the Twitter and I run the Instagram. So, and then you responded. What did you say back?
I said something along the lines of, "We can literally control the outcome of sporting events."
Oh yeah, by losing bets. Yeah.
Like, what do you want in the game tonight? I'll fire something off right now and it won't come true.
Yeah,
I think the whole world's on the over. I'll take the under, and then the whole world will win. Fucking Vegas will go out of business.
Yeah. So then Jabroni didn't respond to that. Also, he on Twitter, he's got a blank. What do they call that? Avatar. He's got no picture. It's just like a gray background with like a light gray background with a dark gray like stick figure.
Yeah, I got no use for that.
Yeah. So like I said, Jabroni. So that was a fun little back and forth.
Speaking of,
but that's exactly how it would go. Like, "Oh, hey man, you should just, bet a little more money and just bet them to finish top 5. It's like, right. All right, buddy, you don't get this. You don't understand how this works.
That was just awesome too. It's like, "Oh, you think your luck's that bad, dude?" Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think. I'm pretty certain. Do you want to see my Action Network?
Like, again, even listen to it. Like, even Ian said the professionals, the best, the guys who sit in their basement with a piss jar doing algorithms all day.
Yep.
57%.
Yeah. Yeah. That means you're missing 4 out of 10 bets.
Yep.
Statistically, technically more. It's whatever, 4.3, which is almost 4.5 bets. You're missing almost 4.5 bets for every 10 that you make.
Yeah. If you place 100 bets in a season, you're going to lose. The best is going to lose 43 of them.
Yeah. Yeah. Which is insane. But then there's people out here like, "Oh yeah, you can buy my picks. I've got a 77% hit percent." Yeah, okay, buddy.
Yeah, honestly, it's like, even there's someone I do follow, and I think I don't know if he used to work with them or what. It's Pamela Maldonado or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And she even said for 2 straight seasons she was 70% in college football, and then for 2 straight seasons she sucked.
Right.
So even if you do light it up, it will equal out. It has.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that was me last year in the NFL season. I started out the NFL season, the first 6 weeks, I was up, God, I don't know, maybe like 14 or 15 units, something like that. Like I was up real big and I was like, dude, I think I got it. I think I got this figured out. Like I got this goofy fucking algorithm that I'm messing around with. I think I might be onto something. And then I ended the season probably -8 units or something. You know what I mean? Like it was just I ended the season in the negative. After being up like 14 units.
I think just NFL I finished in the black last year, just on NFL.
I am crushing baseball this season. So I think maybe I'm a baseball guy now. When it comes to betting, I don't like watching baseball, but
truth, honestly, people say that is like it's easier to bet on sports you don't watch.
Yeah,
there's no bullshit.
Right. I also kind of went into it. I think I might have talked about that. I know I definitely told you, but when I made the decision to start betting on baseball this season, I figured like it's such a statistical heavy sport, which everyone, like anyone that's followed baseball for a while knows that like the nerds control the game now, and there's fucking the spin rate and the exit velocity and all this stupid bullshit, the launch angle and like all these. There's so many statistics in baseball. So I was like, well, I mean, if all these statistics are being tracked, like, why don't I just use what already exists and then just like look at the teams? And that's what I've been doing. Shout out to fangraphs.com. Not a sponsor, no free ads. But I just use their website to compare like some teams and some pitching stats and stuff. And that's how I make my bets. And I am currently up. I was winning the Dodgers. So the Dodgers game hit. I took the under 7.5 in the Dodgers Cardinals game tonight. And the final was 5-1. So I hit that. So I am now on the season. I am up 20.82 units in baseball. I'm 139, 115, and 10. So, but it's like, I'm not standing out here like, oh, you can buy my picks or this is the secret. It's like, no, I just use all this, like the statistics that are already available. And then that's what I do. I also got a lot smarter after.
So this is the thing. You have to lose a lot of bets to start figuring shit out.
Yeah. Well, I got a lot smarter, I want to say, versus how I used to bet college and NFL football last season. Because last season I was fucking crazy. Like I was betting on all kinds of shit. I was betting on every game. I was live betting games. I was doing all kinds of stupid shit. And once I started betting baseball, I think part of it is because I don't watch it. I don't watch the games. I would just bet on a game and then just let it go. And that was it. Like I didn't try and chase. Like I didn't try and do any of this stupid bullshit. But I ran into the problem last year where it was like, you know, maybe I have 2 or 3 bets on the 1 o'clock games, and maybe I go 1 and 2. So I'm like, oh shit, you know, I'll bet 2 games in the 4 o'clock window, and then maybe I go 1 and 1. And I'm like, oh shit, now I got to bet Sunday night football. You know what I mean? Like I would just run into that. But now I look at it like with baseball, and this is how I'm going to approach the football season is like, if I don't like any angle in the game, I'm just not going to bet it.
Well, so there's one thing that some of these people will do and find the grossest game of the week and they bet on that.
Yeah.
So week 1, there'll probably gonna be a wager from me on the Texans Jags. Yeah. I don't know what it's gonna be yet.
Under.
I don't know what it'll be yet, but I actually started doing well last year when I started just acknowledging those disgusting matchups.
Yeah. And that's like, the thing. Like, and again, this is what I've learned through trials and tribulations, is you can't just bet on every little thing. Like sometimes there's no real good like angle, you know, like so this would be going back to last season, but like, you know, if the Patriots were 6-point dogs to I don't know whoever they played at one point when they were down like six, if they were 6 point dogs. I don't even remember last year's schedule. Baltimore, maybe. It's
The
like,
Chiefs.
yeah. Well, they might have been more to the Chiefs. That might have been like 10 to the Chiefs. Um, and I know they ended up being close and they probably covered that game, but I wouldn't have bet that. I would have been like, nah, that's stupid. Like I don't want to do that. Or if like, it's I'm gonna approach it a lot more intelligently this season. So we'll see.
The only thing that I have found too, though, is I tried to get like so systematic, or I tried to get so
Yeah, you overanalyze sometimes,
yeah.
like
Like
because you just run into that just out of habit.
I also used to like I would try so hard to like create an algorithm, and then you spend so much time, and then like Ian
Yep.
said, it's like you're not a data nerd, you're
Yeah.
not a fucking math
Yeah.
major.
Because you run into the thing where, and it's normal, I guess, is you run into the thing where it's like, well, this didn't work, so I must have to do more. Like I didn't crunch enough numbers. I have to crunch more numbers. And then you're like, oh, that didn't work. I need to crunch even more numbers. And then you're like, all right, now I'm over analyzing everything. I'm looking at like running back yards per carry, like, in the last 4 games average. And it's you get into like really goofy shit.
Yeah, it gets nuts.
Yeah. It's like just kind of just look at it. Like look at yards per game, yards given up per game, offense versus defense, and then kind of like go from there.
But if you are gonna bet, where are they going?
We for week 1, you mean?
Do the my bookie ad.
Oh yeah. Oh shit. That's right. If you're gonna bet on sports, make sure you go over to mybookie.com. I can't believe I didn't pick up on that. It's because someone texted me, Mike. Shout out to Mike, friend of the show.
Come on, Mike, you're ruining our flow.
Yeah.
It's your fault, not ours.
You got to go to mybookie.com, use our promo code Sarcasm Pod, and they will double your first deposit up to $1,000. So you deposit whatever you want. Deposit $100, they give you 100 for free. That's it. So go to mybookie.com, use our promo code Sarcasm Pod. Again, they will double your first deposit up to $1,000. So yeah, that's football. Maybe, I don't know. Well, no, we can't actually. I was gonna say maybe we can try and get Jones or Vinny on Zoom to do like a preview. We still could, because when this episode comes out, it's going to be Thursday. That is the Thursday night game. That's like the first game of the season. Cowboys Bucks.
If we're gonna do a preview, we need to make it a spoof of something.
Yeah.
I don't want to just sit there and do I don't want to just sit there and do a preview. Everyone does a preview. There's people way smarter than us, way better than us. Like,
yeah,
it's got to be like, it'll have to be something else.
Yeah. But what we can throw out there is, again, because this is going to come out on Thursday, so there'll be a couple of days, is we are going to bring back the Sarcasm Speaks weekly pick'em.
Yeah.
So you want to run a little more through that?
Yep. So if you were in it last year, actually, I guess if you weren't in it last year, I did it all by hand, like Google Sheets, whatever. So this year, it's going to be through DraftKings. It's going to be a pick'em. It'll be the Sunday games only, and it'll be with the spread. It's going to be $5 a person. It's week by week. So if you want to do every week, or if you want to do some weeks, doesn't matter.
Right.
The only difference is it is going to be on DraftKings. So you got to make a DraftKings account. You got to do it through them. And then from there, but we're not doing the money through DraftKings. That's
right. The money is through Venmo.
It's going to be through me, Cash or Venmo.
Yeah.
And then the only thing that will also change if you did it last year, the tiebreaker is going to change because it's on DraftKings. I can't create what I want. So it'll be, in the case of a tie, I think I'm going to do the record at 1 p.m. is the first tiebreaker, and the record with the 4 and 425 will be the second tiebreaker. In the event that we still need a tiebreaker, I'll reach out to the individual people and we'll probably do something with the money.
Yeah. Yeah. That works. So again, $5. It's going to be through DraftKings. So I would imagine, I mean, most people probably have a DraftKings account already. It's really fucking easy to start to sign up. You don't need to put any money in.
Don't put
It's
any
totally
money.
free to sign up. You just need an email and a password, and then whatever your probably like first name, last name, address. And you do not, I repeat, you do not have to make a deposit with them. It is totally free to create an account with DraftKings.
And they're going to try
we're
to
running
they're going
this.
to try to want you to create or make a deposit.
Yeah.
Just don't do it.
Yeah. Just say no.
If you can't figure out how to say no, just X out of your browser and throw your fucking browser in the dumpster and then re-sign in later.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
I have never made a deposit on DraftKings, so it can't be done.
Yeah, I did, but to the sports book that when I was in New Hampshire, which damn it, I was in New Hampshire today and I didn't even think about looking at odds.
Nice going.
Yeah. Oh, well, maybe in like 2026, when Massachusetts passes sports betting, I can do it then.
I hope Massachusetts pivots and just outlaws casinos.
Just goes real way back to like the puritanical roots.
Yeah.
We're outlawing everything. Laws. Yeah. No more booze on Sundays.
Yep. Although I guess if we go back, I guess you can allow flavored tobacco again. Because I went to a smoke shop in Dedham, of course, and the woman's like, "Oh, can I help you find anything?" I go, "Honestly, I don't even know what to. Yeah. I don't even know how to ask you for help. I'm just gonna look around." No, because how do you say it's like, I like cigars, but I never really smoke them.
Right.
I'm prone to just buying random shit and forgetting what I buy.
Yeah.
Like, how is that helpful? Like, how is that person gonna do anything?
Yeah, that's you look at them and be like, "There's nothing you can do to help me."
No, I'm just gonna pick some random shit, whatever, figure it out. And then I was with Michaela, and she actually said though, she's like, "Oh yeah, well we used to smoke the Cuba Cubas, but you can't get them anymore." And she's like, "I think we have some." And she has a box behind the desk, but there was only one in it.
Oh, so yeah.
Michaela got that. I got something else. Like I had bought it before. I don't know. How did I even get on? Oh, the tobacco thing. Yeah. So,
yeah.
Because and so it sucks too, because so obviously guy buys one cigar, so now I have to look at getting a humidor and buying boxes. Like I gotta figure all that out.
Yeah. Yeah. Big cigar guy now.
Because again, I like cigars, but I never smoke them, so I need all this stuff: travel cases and torch lighters. I need everything.
Yeah.
Because God, how would I light a cigar without a torch lighter? I don't know.
Oh, you're not a barbarian.
Yeah, it's crazy. But I'm like, so Macanudo sells. They have like an espresso thing, a bourbon thing, and another thing. Can't get them here. It's the only state in the union where they won't fucking deliver these cigars to. I'm like, what the fuck, man?
Yeah. That's so stupid. That's such a dumb law.
Yeah, fucking awful. But whatever. My employee lives in Rhode Island, so if I need them that bad, they'll
go. Yeah, Rhode Island's right down the street from me. So if I also ever need them that bad, I can just take a fucking 10-minute drive.
Oh, that's true.
There's actually like a really nice cigar bar down the road in Pawtucket. And now it is in Pawtucket. So like, I use the word nice very loosely. But it's convenient. I would say.
Great location.
Yeah. It's a cool spot though. Because obviously they sell your own cigars. You can bring your own. Amy's cousin actually has his own locker there, and it's like a humidor locker. So he like brings a bunch of cigars. He's a big cigar guy. So he brings like his there, keeps them there. He like rolls in, like opens up his locker, like sits there because they have a bunch of like TVs so you can watch sports games. I thought about going there a couple times because we don't have TV and we don't have like I can't watch live sports. But then I was like, there's nothing really to watch. Like, oh, it was over the summertime. Like, what am I going to do? Go watch a Red Sox game at the Cigar Bar? Get fucked. Like, the Bruins were out. There was nothing to watch. Like the time we haven't had live TV, there's really no big sports on. So now I got to get Fubo. We're gonna have live TV again through Fubo.
Yeah, we're going for the YouTube TV with the package.
Yeah. So, let me see what else. What else do we have going on in the world?
So there's a lot going on in the world. I'm not fucking paying attention, obviously. The
world is
fucking stupid
to me. So this is like kind of random, but the other day I saw this ad commercial, whatever it was. I don't know if it was on. I think it was actually maybe on Instagram. Did Mike send it to me? I don't know. Whatever. I saw this video where it was a live action version of Rick and Morty. So,
oh yeah, you sent that to me.
Yeah, Christopher Lloyd is Rick, and then I don't know who Morty is, but it's like I read a little bit about it, and it said he was in the movie It, so he was one of the kids in the movie It. I don't know how I feel about that, to be honest. Like a live action Rick and Morty.
Yeah, no.
Because part of the allure, or I guess part of like the shtick of the show is like the absurdity. And you can do a lot of really absurd things with cartoons that you can't do with real people.
Yeah, and it's gonna.
And I know, like, there's CGI, so like someone could counter that argument and be like, "Oh, dude, come on, you could do anything with CGI," but like, it's not the same. It's not the same.
Well, I'm even just like, it's just gonna be like weird Star Wars.
Yeah.
Because it's supposed to be in outer space and different galaxies and dimensions, universes, whatever the fuck.
Now, I did see this other thing. It was like a fan theory that they think maybe they're going to like weave it into the cartoon. And if that's the case, I'd be okay with that. Like if they're going to come out with just a live action Rick and Morty show, I can't get on board with that. Like it's too much there. You know, like, I don't know. I can't do it. But you know how, because they travel dimensions all the time. Like if for like a quick little clip in the show, they like travel a dimension and then they become real people and it's Christopher Lloyd and whatever. Still kind of tacky, but like, okay, I can get behind that. But like a full blown live action show, I'm good. I don't want it.
Oh, how about this? Keep it as a cartoon. If you want to do a movie, do a cartoon movie.
Yeah.
No real people, no real anything. Just play the hits.
Don't get cute.
No, because it's just going to be fucking goofy.
Yeah. I mean, I use like The Simpsons. So The Simpsons has been on, it's the longest running show on TV, I think, continuously, whether it's cartoon or like real life, just of any show on TV. I think there are like, 32 seasons maybe? They've never done any of that stupid bullshit.
Oh, didn't they like one time try like a claymation thing?
Yeah. And it probably fucking bombed. Like Family Guy never did any of that.
Just play the hits.
Just stick to the hits. So
no, I don't. It's a cartoon. I don't need live action.
Right. If I wanted live action comedy, I would watch like Step Brothers.
And even then, it's like let's pretend if we're gonna do a live action thing. So say we're gonna do a live action. Wouldn't it make way more sense for it to be Archer because those are actual like people.
Right.
Generally real people.
Yeah.
That have like real dialogue and jobs that exist in other movies. Like fuck out of here.
Yeah, because Rick and Morty has like weird like aliens and like
so
all
is
kinds
Christopher
of
Lloyd just gonna have puke all over his mouth? Like, is that
yeah.
like he's just gonna keep that there?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's just
No thanks.
yeah, like I said, I'm with you on that one. But where I differ is like if it's a quick like cameo clip type of deal, I'm fine. Whatever. I'll look past it. But if it's like a legit thing, no thanks. I'm good with that. All right. I actually have a funny story. So
That'd be funny.
I am such a fucking loser. So last week at work, I had it was like our yearly like orientation or whatever. So it's like trainings. You have to go through these stupid trainings every year. It's the same one, whatever. But I had to watch this training, this particular training, and you can't skip through the video. So the video, like the bar is locked. So you can see like the load bar on the bottom, like obviously as the video continues, it gets more and more full, and it has to finish before you can click the next button to get to the next video. So what do I do? Like 10, 15. It's also like a 3-hour long training. So I go, well, it's like the third time I've done it too. So I go, well, I've already done this twice. This is my third time. I remember these videos that I watched last year. Like I remember the people in them. It's all the same stuff. I go, I don't really want to watch this, but it's tracking my progress. So I go to the Google machine and I spend, I don't know, 10 to 20 minutes Googling and learning how to change computer code so that you can unlock the seek bar on the bottom and the next button. So I go through this whole thing and I'm reading and I'm looking for like code, and they like lay out how to change the code for this particular video. I don't know what it was. If it was like a driver safety or sexual harassment training, I think it was, which that's probably the one you don't want to skip through. But they like lay out this whole thing. Like, this is how you go to the code. This is the piece of code to look for. This is what to change it to get through this sexual harassment training. So I'm like, yeah, well, this isn't quite the same. It's different. It's about something totally different. That's not sexual harassment. And I'm like, I just don't want to fucking watch it. So I'm looking, I spent all this time. And meanwhile, like the video's going and it would like hit the end of the seek bar and I would have to click next. So I would say I spent anywhere between 30 and 45 minutes not paying attention to any of these videos, which I wasn't going to pay attention to them anyway. But I'm spending all this time trying to learn coding on the fly that I have zero experience doing outside of like HTML back in like 2006. And I went in and I changed it and I found everything I needed to find, and I found the areas and I changed the code and I like found different things. So I changed all the code on the thing and it didn't even fucking work.
Well, I guess the only thing that saves you is you had to sit there for that long anyway.
Right.
So you may as well try something else.
Yeah. I tried to use my time more effectively.
Yeah, there's no, when you have like mandatory training like that, you can't skip ahead. There is no effective use of your time. It's all a waste.
Yeah. Yeah. But I was really bummed because I got excited because I was like, oh, this is it. And then obviously, so right before like I did it the first time, like I'm looking and like you can see like, because it's like a ticker. Like when you go into the code, it's like a number that's constantly changing because it's like the progress of the seek bar through whatever. And I'm like, all right, so I have to change this. So I go in and I'm going to try and change the code. And I stared at it for like a minute because I was like, if I hit enter and I break this thing, I might be fucked. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't even know if that's possible for them to like trace where the code change came from. I have no idea. But I'm like, man, there's a potential I could fuck something up pretty bad, and like they might find out. Not like my work or maybe my work, but they wouldn't really do much because I'm just trying to skip through a stupid video. But like the company, you know what I mean? Like there's potential implications here. And I'm like, oh man, I don't know if I want to do this. And then the video ended. So I had to click the next button for the next one. So then I went and did it again. And I'm looking at it and I'm like, all right, fuck it. I'm just going to do it. And I hit enter and I see like the next button unlocked. Cause it's like light gray, dark gray. Like if you can click on it, it's dark gray. When it's light gray, it's unclickable. So I change all the code and the next button turns to dark gray. And I'm like, holy shit, I fucking did it. And I go to click on it and nothing happens. I'm like, this sucks. And then I tried to like change some code with some other stuff and nothing. There was no code that I could figure out how to change to completely like unlock and give me like free reign on this training course. So I still had to sit through it because I am a fucking loser.
Guess that's what happens when you're not a coder and trying to figure out code.
Yeah, imagine that, right?
It's kind of wild. It's almost like people have to go to school for that.
Right. Strange.
And you were just going to learn it in 5 minutes on the internet?
Yeah. Why not?
I can't figure out why it didn't work.
Yeah. Yeah, me neither.
Because never mind that someone who is a professional in coding probably wrote the code to make sure that you can't get into it.
Maybe, yeah.
Like fucking Boris.
I mean,
writing that fucking code.
I doubt that it wasn't like a legit. It's not like a hardcore training. It's just
How
on
do you
like
know Boris wasn't writing that
code. It's like crisis intervention stuff. It wasn't anything like sexual harassment that you shouldn't be able to skip through anyway.
You needed the Bond girl from Goldeneye.
Yeah, Natalia.
Natalia.
Yeah.
You needed her.
Something that you sit on, but you can't take it with you.
My face.
It's a chair. So yeah, I don't know. I thought I could do it and I couldn't. But well, that's what I was saying. That I don't think the code is like unbreakable. You know what I mean? Like I don't think someone's sitting there like, we're gonna put a limit on it so you can't skip through it, but like we're gonna make it extra hard so someone can't learn code to change it. I think the population that's doing it, I'm the only idiot that's like, I bet I could learn code to change it to skip through this.
Yeah, someone's like, if it's a 3-hour series of videos, someone's gonna have to figure this out in more than 3 hours.
Yeah. Yeah. In 3 hours or less, you cannot figure this out. But so I got to work on my coding skills, pretty basically.
Apparently.
Let's see what else I got here. Oh, have you seen the stupid milk crate challenge?
Oh yeah, I mean I've seen that for weeks now, right?
Yeah. I mean, I guess when I wrote this down, I was late to the party. I had no idea what it was. Because people at work were talking about it. They were saying something about like a milk crate challenge. I'm like, what the fuck is that? Like that, and I just kind of brushed it off. And then finally, like I saw a video on my Instagram, and it was someone like walking on like stacks of milk crates. And honestly, I didn't even put 2 and 2 together. Like I didn't even realize that like that was like the Esto Facto milk crate challenge. I just, like I said, I didn't put 2 and 2 together. And then like finally after a couple more days of seeing memes and stuff, I was like, oh, this is what everyone's talking about. This is the stupidest fucking thing in the world. Like who came up with that idea?
I don't know, dude. It makes funny videos. There's
yeah, I mean, it does.
Why I put someone in a shopping cart, push them into a fucking curve, and watch them go flying out of it. It's fucking idiotic, but it was funny at the
time. But that's at least funny. Like, because it's just totally dumb.
People fall and hurt themselves.
It's funny. Yeah. I mean, there was an entire show called America's Funniest Home Videos built based off of that premise, right?
There was also a show and multiple movies called Jackass.
Yeah.
And then never mind all the iterations of Jackass being done at home. Like the one time that we wrapped the same kid up in a dog lead and started beating the hell out of him with wiffle ball bats.
Yeah, and then now there's that show. Fuck is it called? Ridiculousness with Rob Dyrdek. That's like
Yeah,
pretty much all of that has stemmed off of Jackass.
yeah. And Tosh.0, that was like a thing,
Yeah,
which was
yeah,
just internet videos.
right. But I mean, Tosh.0 wouldn't have become big if it wasn't. Well, I mean, I'm sure it would have because it's the same. It's the same formula. It's people hurting themselves. Um, but I guess Jackass did kind of lay the groundwork for that to be like mainstream at least.
Yep, Jackass and yeah, because I was saying CKY, but CKY did not make it mainstream.
Right,
Jackass
right.
did.
Because America's Funniest Home Videos was more like it was like a PG version. You know, it was
Yes.
almost like kids say the darndest things, or like a cat fucks with a dog and does something, you know, like random shit like that, or some dude like slips and falls down his icy driveway.
Yeah.
But Jackass was like obviously rated R.
They played nut sitting there with their legs spread, throwing balls at each other's fucking
Yeah,
nuts.
yeah.
It was insane.
But yeah, so it's just another stupid thing. All right, I got one more thing to catch up on, and then we can go from there. So I was listening to one of the Drinking Bros podcasts. They have like a bunch. I forget whether it was like American Party or whatever. So I caught this, and this stood out to me. Dan Holloway, again, I've talked about him before, big fan. He made a comment, and because they were talking about like something happening or like dates or something like that, and he goes, yeah, I don't know why, but like for some reason, like 2005 feels like it was like 5 years ago. And then, so I forget, so whoever else was on the show with them was like, yeah, it does kind of feel weird, right? It feels like there was like a time warp. And so I started thinking more about it. And I think this is obviously way more appropriate for the last 1 to 2 years, obviously, because fucking COVID fucked everything up. And there was just like a giant gap in time between 2019 and now. But I feel the same way. Like, and then I like talked to a couple more people about it, and they were like, yeah, it does feel super weird, right? That like if you say, oh, 2008, like just off the top of your head, 2008, how long ago was that?
Well, unfortunately, I know it's 13 years, so that doesn't help your point.
Yeah, I was gonna like without doing the math. Like if you came up and was like, oh, how
In
long ago was 2008?
2012,
I'd be like, I don't know, 7 or 8 years ago.
2012 is a weird because it's like that was 9 years ago, 2012.
Yeah, yeah. But like if someone was like, oh, how long ago was 2006? I'd be like, I don't know, 10, 11, 12 years. Like, no, that was like 15 fucking years ago. Like it feels like there's just been like a weird like time warp.
I get those too because it's like so 2016 was already 5 years ago.
Yeah.
So like Falcon Super Bowl 5 years. It's just like where the fuck did the time go?
But it doesn't, like if you were like, oh, when was 2018? I'd be like, 2, 3 years ago. Like also like if I'm trying to recall something, like if I'm thinking about something that happened in 2018, I'd be like, oh yeah, like 2 or 3 years ago. But if I'm thinking about something that happened in like 2007, I'd be like, oh yeah, like 12 years ago. But it's not. Yeah, I'd be like,
Yeah,
10, 12 years ago. I don't know. It's weird. Why? I don't
that
know if
probably
it's,
makes so. I think that might make more sense because I don't know. The other way is just simple math. It's like, oh, when was 2011? 10 years ago.
yeah. But I mean, like,
Now,
I don't know how to describe it better. Like, I don't
no,
mean like
the
math.
event.
Like, if
So it's
I'm,
like
yeah, I'm not meaning to ask you, like, that's what I mean, like a gut reaction off the top of your head. Like, oh,
you
2011. Like,
have to give me an event
yeah,
because
like, um,
the rest is just numbers and math. That's I can do that quick.
yeah, like the second Red Sox World Series. Like, that feels like, I don't know, 10, 12 years ago, but it wasn't. It was
14,
15,
14 years.
or even like the first Red Sox World Series. I don't know, 15 years maybe. It's
17.
It's 17.
I don't know, dude. So I'm also autistic. You got to remember this. So it's like,
yeah, you're the wrong person to ask this question.
for no, well, the example can't. You'd have to do like movies or something.
Yeah.
Like, oh, when did the first Avengers come out? Like, I don't know, 8 years ago.
Yeah. Or like Step Brothers. When did Step Brothers come out?
Well, that's not a good example. I know that. 13. Like, if you asked me when did the first Avengers come out? I'd be like, I don't know, 8.
Yeah.
So what would that be? 2013. And I'm off what, a year or two?
Yeah. Or like when did let me try and think of like kind of a random-ish movie.
Like Inception. I'd be like, I don't know, 10 years ago. I don't know, when the fuck did Inception come
Yeah,
out?
but it's probably like 16.
Yeah, that's strong. It was probably right around like 08, but
2010.
so what did I say? 10 years ago? Yeah, no, I'm
Yeah.
not that. Maybe I'm just sick at this.
This is your hidden talent.
Maybe I have such a great superior understanding of time that I just can't relate to you in this issue.
Dude, I'm so good at time.
I kind of am. I think that's what we're getting at.
Yeah.
Because I think I'm also more likely to go the other way. So if you told me, or like, here's one. This is only Pat Mahomes' 5th season. It's like, what the fuck? We've been talking about this guy so much. Like, he was drafted in 17. It didn't start till 18.
Right.
Or like even like the FSU game, Mackenzie Milton. When did Mackenzie Milton get hurt? Do you remember that?
No.
2018. He has not played since 2018. 2019? No, I don't remember. But like, he was in the game and they were like, he like literally didn't play for 2 full years after like destroying his knee in the fucking a million pieces. But
yeah, it was UCF, right?
Yeah. National champ.
Back to back.
Well, they won that national championship in 2017. Doesn't that feel like it was just the other? Like, doesn't that feel like it was only like 2 years ago?
Yeah, it does.
And that was like 4 years ago.
That's fucking crazy.
See, they didn't win in 2018 because I think LSU absolutely pummeled them in the. I think it was LSU pummeled them in the bowl game. Unless they pummeled LSU, I don't really remember.
I can tell you what year it was.
Yeah, because LSU won in 19 and 18. I think they beat UCF in the bowl game.
Dude, I think there's a bug in my computer screen. So this is like, you talk about fucking like ADD, but I was just watching a little bug on the screen, like on your screen, like on your wall, like climb what looked like to be like on your ceiling. And then I was like, oh, dude, you got a bug behind you. And then all of a sudden, like, it showed up on my screen and it was like behind me, like right where my thumb is, like right here. And I was like, wait, is that the same bug? So now I was like touching my screen and I couldn't like get it off the screen. And then I watched it like crawl across my screen and go up to the very top. And then it like climbed over the screen and like disappeared.
Perhaps it just went over your camera.
There's a literal bug. No. Like, I watched it like on my, like the screen, like my LCD computer screen. Like, it went to the very top of my screen that no one can see, like where it says Zoom meeting and like the settings bar at the top. And then it like climbed over the back and disappeared. So there is a literal bug in my computer. I don't know how it got in there. Probably from one of the various USB ports in the back. That's crazy. I thought I was going fucking crazy.
Might still be.
I mean, I could still be. Yeah, I haven't done any drugs recently, so I don't know how that would happen. But I could just be fucking retarded.
You can still go crazy.
All right. Well, it's about that time. You want to start wrapping things up? Oh, can't
Yeah, I
talk
can
either.
pull up.
Jesus.
What did I screenshot? Mine will actually be quick. I was gonna talk about FSU, and then I decided I don't fucking want to. All right. So this is on Twitter, unverified, obviously, but it's a picture of a turtle that was born in 1832.
Jesus.
This turtle is 189 years old.
The most depressed creature in the world.
He seems happy. I don't know. His body, I mean, his face also looks like a fucking wooden door, so I don't really know what to take of that. So now, this is what it says. Hello, world. Hello, Twitter world. My
hey,
name
Twitter
is
world.
Jonathan.
It's me.
My name is Jonathan, spelt all fucked up. And I was born in 1832. Still going strong. Love you all. It was my birthday last month, and I am 189 years old. Okay. I got a couple problems with this. One, anything that lives that fucking long shouldn't exist.
Nope. I'm good.
Nothing should
good with
live
that.
for 189.
Well, it's like the Greenland shark. It's like 400 fucking years old.
Yeah, the one.
The one Greenland shark is something. It's something crazy.
Yeah. So nothing that nothing should have to suffer for that long. Like, especially on this existence, like this world sucks and everything sucks about it. No one should be subjected to that. That's fucking terrible. Poor fucking turtle. My other issue is he celebrated his birthday last week. Okay. Did you guys ask the turtle?
When he was born?
Is that what the turtle told you?
Yeah.
He could tell you his birthday and his half birthday? Like, did you get that info from the turtle himself? And if he was born in 1832, what do you have? What do you have? A birth certificate? You have documentation of his fucking birth?
Yeah.
I'm not buying your turtle bullshit. You made up his birthday. His birthday's made up. Just like the fucking spelling of his fucked up name, it's wrong. So I'm calling bullshit. I don't think this thing's 189 years old or born in 1832. I know you can, like, what is it? You count the rings on their shell or some shit?
That's a tree. Count the rings of a tree and I'll find out how old it is.
Yeah, so you just count the rings, how many rings on his shell there are, right?
Yeah, it works the same way, right?
Okay. So I don't think this thing's 189 years old. I think it sounds too good to be true, especially if in the same post they're telling me his birthday was last week. There's no way to confirm a turtle's birthday. I am not fucking buying that. No. There's no fucking way. And if there is a way to confirm a turtle's birthday, there's no way to do it from 1832. The best you can get is a range.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Be like, I was born sometime around 1832.
Yeah. And you cannot tell me, oh, well, it was in the third week of August in 1832. Like, fuck out of here. Fuck you.
Yeah, no one's keeping records of that shit.
Nope.
That's just dumb. And it's turtles. Like, who cares?
Turtles are fine. I mean, they really are fine. But I'm not buying. I think I was willing to accept that this turtle was old as hell, but I'm not willing to do it anymore because you tried to tell me when his birthday was.
That you had this thing pinpointed to the day.
Yeah, no. So
190 years ago.
Yes, 189 years ago, this thing was born, and you're gonna tell me that you can document when?
Yeah.
Unless the turtles are talking, and we don't know about it.
I mean, that could be a thing.
If we've discovered communications with the turtles, I think I'd like to know.
Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't mind. I mean, I don't know what do you think a 189-year-old turtle would even have to say? Just be like, don't
talk about sale prices at Stop and Shop. I don't know. What else do old people do besides die? Obviously, this thing can't.
Yeah, it's the Vinny. It's the Vinny of turtles.
Does he read the newspaper?
Yeah.
Did he drink hot coffee and
he probably predates the newspaper. When was the newspaper invented?
Do you think he invented the newspaper?
Probably. He was probably there with Gutenberg. They used his turtle shell as the first stamp.
Dude, I would not be surprised. People
Newspaper.
forget
Oh
that the
no, the
original
newspaper
newspaper.
apparently was invented in 1690.
That shows how much you know.
Yeah.
That makes sense though. It's probably some guy handwriting it and fucking delivering it. Or
Yeah.
they might have had presses, right?
No, that was the printing press.
No, like
Printing
I don't know.
printing press was invented in 1440 by Johann Gutenberg.
Wow. History.
Yeah. The first thing they printed was the Bible. You know, that's still the number one selling book every single year.
Yeah, but that's because it's like, I don't know. I feel like that's built in.
Yeah, but like, who's buying a new Bible every year? Nothing's changing.
Churches.
The stories don't change.
Churches.
There's a
Schools.
church that buys new Bibles every year. What do they do with the old ones? Burn them?
Probably.
Isn't that
What the fuck else are they
sacrilege?
gonna do with their money? They just get free money.
Yeah, that is nice, right? We should start a religion. We don't have to pay taxes.
They're probably gonna call us a cult, though.
Yeah,
How do you start a
probably.
religion without it being a cult in 2021?
You have to act like you're doing something good for at least the first couple of years.
But like, if we're gonna start a religion, actually, weren't we gonna do this? Weren't we gonna start some religion?
Yeah. Tiki came up with it. Bananye West.
Oh yeah, I didn't like that.
Yeah. Bananafarians.
Some I don't know. I don't remember now.
Yeah.
That sounds about right. I thought we came up with something legitimate, but guess not.
No, I mean, well, it's great to avoid taxes. If you start a religion, you don't have to pay taxes.
I know, but like, what are you gonna do?
And then you end up like Joel Osteen with like a $30 million private jet. And everyone's like, oh, yeah, no, he's a great guy. Yeah, he has like 3, $1 million Bentleys, a massive mega church in Houston that, oh, by the way, a couple of years ago when Houston got decimated by that hurricane, he had all that room and was like, yeah, no, sorry, we can't have you in here. He's a great guy, though.
Probably.
Yeah.
Michaela knows someone who started a church.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
And then it was abruptly stopped, like out of nowhere.
Yeah. I remember her telling that story.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if there's like a special branch of the IRS that has to like validate the church to like really make sure that like you're not paying to make sure you don't pay taxes, because there's no way, there's like literally a negative chance that the IRS would be like, oh yeah, you're a religion now, yeah, sure, you don't have to pay taxes anymore. Like, no fucking way. Like, there's got to be so many hoops.
Anytime that you expose yourself to not paying taxes,
yeah,
that's the only time the IRS cares.
Right.
Like, if you sit there and pay like the wrong amount of taxes, it's very, they'll find you, but like, they care a little bit less.
Yeah.
It's the people that are trying to get through tax free that they have problems with, unless you're like the NCAA or something.
Right.
So like, when you try to do like certain nonprofits, and like, that's the thing with like nonprofits, is like, seems fucking complicated to start one. Like, it's not just like, hey, I want to donate money to this, I'll start a nonprofit. It's like,
yeah. No, it's not that simple.
Like, there's a lot that goes into it. It's because you become tax free.
Right.
So again, I don't know how the NCAA skirts it, but actually, it doesn't make sense.
Kanye did it.
It's not that hard to figure out.
I was talking to well, it's actually really funny that maybe it was around the same time, actually. That's why Dickie came up with that name. I was going to say, it's really funny that Kanye actually did create his own religion. So I was talking to some people at work, and it's funny talking to people that aren't super cynical and don't think the same way that, traditionally you and I think, because they were talking about like, oh yeah, Kanye, he's crazy. Obviously, he just came out with a new album, but they were like, yeah, he's crazy. Like, he's even got his own religion. Like, what are you doing with that? Like, what's the point of that? And I turned and I looked at them and I go, he doesn't have to pay taxes if he runs a religion. And they were like, oh my God, I didn't even think about that. That's genius. And I was like, yeah, that was the first thing I thought of.
That was the first thing I thought of.
If someone tells me they're starting a religion or they're starting a church, it's to avoid
What kind of money
taxes.
are you trying to hide?
Yeah. There's nothing benevolent about that. You just don't want to pay taxes.
John Wick, right? He hid the money in the vault in the church. Or
Yeah,
he did, but the Russians did.
The Russian guy did, yeah. So, it's one of those things. Because I'm so gung ho about religion.
It's great.
Yeah, it's wonderful. It actually, as much as I shit talk it, it actually it has its place, like its time and place. I think having morals is important. But believing a story from like however many hundreds or thousands of years ago, that was probably written down and transcribed and changed a million times, that's ridiculous. That's like you're asking me to believe in Santa Claus. It's literally the same exact thing. So, but as like I said, as far as like giving people morals and like telling them not to do bad things, I can get down with that. But I don't believe in Santa. Sorry. So my final thought is I'm going to steal this from, I'm going to use the word borrow. I don't want to fuck with these guys. I'm going to borrow this from Barstool. I'm not stealing anything from them. I'm borrowing it from them. I will actually text this to you right now so you can see it. Because I'm going to read it, but me just reading it might not work. So I'll post this on the Sarcasm Speaks Instagram too. But they do this thing called Answer the Internet. And I thought this was really interesting, and I'm curious to see what you would do, and I'll post it for our followers and see what they would do. So here's the scenario. You have 5 magic tokens. How do you want to spend them? So these first 3 each are worth 1 token. So I'll read the first 3 and then I'll move up the chain. So again, 1 token each. You have 5. Sports championship of your choice is 1. Choose any person to hook up with is 1. $50,000 is 1. Now these next 2 are worth 2 tokens each. The first one is plus 1 point on a 10 scale for yourself. Essentially make yourself more attractive. The next one is 1 year paid salary without working. So both of those again are two tokens. You have 5. Now these last 2 are worth 4 each. Free food for life or free booze for life. So you have 5 tokens. How are you spending them? I can go first if you want, because I
got mine. Nope, I'm good.
All right. I feel like there's a solid solid chance that like you and I have the exact same outcome.
Yep, probably.
Yeah. What do you got?
Free food for life and the 50,000.
Oh, okay. All right. We're a little different here. We are different. I said I'm spending all 5 tokens on the 50 grand. Give me the $250,000. I'll take 250K cash and I'll be on my way. Now,
yeah,
I saw some people, because I obviously ran through the comments, and some people are like, no, man, what you have to do is get $200,000 and then the sports championship of your choice, and then bet $200,000 on like the Pittsburgh Pirates and make like millions. I immediately saw that as you're an idiot. Because good luck trying to find any book that's going to take your $200,000 bet when you're just a fucking jabroni walking off the street. And second, do you know how much heat that's going to put on you? If you walk in to somewhere and say they take your $200,000 bet. Now all of a sudden, this casino in Vegas owes you $12 million or something like that. Something fucking stupid.
Hey, you know who gets involved in that situation?
The IRS. Yeah, exactly.
You better start a religion.
You're bringing way. You better start a religion, buddy. So if you're going that way, you're an idiot. You're bringing way too much heat on you. That's why I just said I'll take it, take the 250,000 and be on my way. I laughed at the 1 year paid salary without working. I was like,
Yeah, I was gonna
as
say,
if anyone makes like real money.
is it my paid salary or someone else's?
Yeah,
I'll take someone else's.
yeah. I take Roger Goodell's salary.
I would take 2 years of his and the 50K.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, if it's my own salary, then I'll take the free food and then the 50K, because the free food is that's what would give me probably the most savings, I would assume.
Yeah. Yeah. I went really, I was tough back and forth between the free food and the 50 and then just the 250. But I figured, I don't know, it'd be cool to have $250,000.
It would be, but I don't want
Then
to
you can do
say,
other shit, like you can invest it, you put it in the stock market.
yeah, you can, but if you think about it, for most people, 250K is nice, but it's not like life changing, right?
No, it's not.
So if I never had to pay for food, because if it's free food for life, I'm interpreting that as grocery store
Right.
and
Restaurants.
restaurants. So if I never have to pay, that's gonna save me. That probably, I mean, if we're talking a lifetime, probably comes close to 250K. I mean,
Yeah.
think maybe if my math is right, what's 10 grand over 50 years? Is that 500,000?
500.
500,000. Yeah. So
Yeah.
I assume free food for life would be over.
Yeah.
Would be over 250.
That's a good point. That's a good way to look at it too.
That's why. I mean, the first thing I looked at, I think, dude, sports championship, I don't give a fuck about. That's
Yeah.
not
No,
that
don't
important.
care.
Hookups, not that important.
Does not matter.
50K. The only reason I even bothered with it is because I had one token left.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like free booze for life. Yeah. Okay. Fine. But
Yeah,
like,
but that's kind of lame. Like, how much booze can you
dumb.
actually drink? Like, if you have free booze for life, like you're dead in the next 3 years.
Ooh, maybe I should take
Yeah.
that. Save myself the trouble. But yeah, that's a fucking lame. That's like a college kid answer. Like, oh, free booze. How much I
Yeah.
spend on booze? Yeah.
Yeah.
Sick,
That's
dude.
one of those where, like, in that scenario, that's like a Jack and the Beanstalk scenario. You're like 21 years old in that, and you're like, oh, yeah, dude, I'll take free booze for life because, like, yeah. And then you're like 30, and you're like, fuck, I wish I did something different.
I wish I wasn't paying for food.
Yeah.
Because when you don't feel like drinking, you don't have to. But when you don't feel like eating, you still have to.
Yep. Yep. Because yeah, even like the sports championship and then the betting stuff, like there's no scenario that like you can win enough money but stay out of the spotlight to make it worth it. Like even if you try and bet 50 grand on like a 400 to 1, like that's too much money.
Yep.
What is that? 50 grand times 400. That's $20 million. Yeah. No, thanks. Or 200.
Yeah, sure. We could take that in cash and not get robbed.
Yeah. So there's zero chance. So I think either the 250K or the free food at 50 grand is probably the two right answers.
Yeah, unless you take the 250 and have a plan for it, but I don't know. I don't know how to turn 250 into anything. Because like that's the thing, is like 250 is a lot, but it doesn't really. It seriously.
No,
really
it's not. It's not life changing. If you think
really
about, I don't know what the average person makes
in the country or in Massachusetts.
That is very different. I don't know. I would say probably 50 in Massachusetts, right? If we say the average person makes 50,
probably
that's only 5 years. That's 5. So it's not like you get 250,000. You're like, oh yeah, I'm retiring. Like, oh, well, have fun going back to work in 5 years.
Yeah, or even if you think about like, oh, well, I'll invest it. It's like cool, man. 250 in the stock market still takes years and years and years.
Yeah.
But then if it's like, oh, well, I'll take the 250 and I'll start whatever business, and it's like, dude, 250 just doesn't get you that far. It really doesn't.
Right. So, or you can spend $250,000 on seasonings at grillyourassoff.com. And then if you use the promo code Sarcasm Pod, not only will you get 15% off of your order, but you'll also send a little bit of that to us too.
I gotta put
so your $250,000 will then get funneled into us, which is phenomenal. So definitely do that. So grillyourassoff.com. Again, they have the best seasonings in the world. They're better than Meat Church. They're better than McCormick. They're better than Flavor God. All those ones. They give you tiny little things, like maybe 6 ounces, 7, 8 ounces. They're tiny. They're so little. Grill Your Ass Off gives you 16 ounces of seasoning. That's a pound. That's an entire pound of seasoning for like $12. And they were running a sale this weekend. I don't know if it was just a Labor Day sale or if it's like a quick little thing they got going. But at the time we're recording this, there's actually an additional discount. So all of their seasonings, I think, are usually either $11.99 or $12.99. I forget what the number is exactly.
Retail's $14.99. They're $10.99 right now.
They're all marked down currently, which again, it could be just a Labor Day weekend thing. In that case, by the time this comes out, sorry, you missed it. But you should have been doing it anyway, because we've had Grill Your Ass Off for a while now. They're currently $10.99 for 16 ounces of seasoning, and you can still use the promo code Sarcasm Pod to get 15% off your order. So that's going to be like roughly like $8 or $9 for, again, 16 ounces of whatever you want. They have steak seasoning. My personal favorite is the gunpowder. It's like a garlic base. What else they have? Mango habanero, Cajun. The infidel pork rub is delicious. They've got a chicken seasoning. They got everything. Seasoned salts, t-shirts, hats, coffee mugs, aprons. They got it all. So again, grillyourassoff.com, promo code SarcasmPod for 15% off over there. So that's going to do it for us. We already did the MyBookie one. Again, same promo code SarcasmPod over there. Doubles your first deposit up to $1,000. So if you're on YouTube right now, make sure you click subscribe. Give us a thumbs up. Maybe write a comment below. I don't know. Maybe tell me how much money you just saved at grillyourassoff.com. Or maybe share your picks for week 1 of the football season. I don't know. I don't even know what any of the lines are right now. I haven't even looked. But
dude, just remember, they're all stale.
Yeah, they're all stale as fuck. So make sure you subscribe wherever you're listening. If you use Apple Podcasts, which I know like roughly 57% of you do, because I see the statistics, go to the iTunes store, leave us 5 stars, write a review. It helps. It helps get new sponsors. New people want to sponsor the show, and the engagement is what really matters over there. You can get us on Instagram at Sarcasm Speaks Pod. We're on Twitter at Sarcasm_speaks. The Facebook page is Sarcasm Speaks. Again, stay tuned for the Sarcasm Speaks weekly NFL Pick'em. It's $5. Run through DraftKings. Just the Pick'em through DraftKings. The money is still with us. It is absolutely free to create a DraftKings account to continue with us this season. If you did it last year, trying to think. I think there was something else I wanted to say about that, but I can't remember. So that's going to do it for us. Until next time, good night.